Hi everybody and welcome to another SciCraft episode. So today we want to continue our work on the Piston bolt towards the Mushroom Island biome for the new mushroom farm. And in the last episode we already made a diagonal tunnel with the help of a flying machine tunnel bore, which goes on for about 3000 blocks. And yeah, next step is placing the rails. So between episodes I already set up the blocks that we want to place the rails on. And now we have to do this like 3000 times. It's not the worst job ever. Will probably take about 30 minutes, but I'm thinking we could actually automate this. Let's head over to Creative World, because I have an idea how to do this. So my idea is that we could actually AFK place the rails. So we could make a diagonal flying machine, where we would sit in there and just aim on the blocks, and then we move diagonally, place the next block, and so on. Usually, an AFK block placer doesn't work because it would only work for 64 blocks, and then you would run out of blocks, your initial stack is gone, and you somehow need to move another stack into your inventory slot, otherwise you would run out. Actually, you could even increase it to 128 blocks, but still that's not much. So this concept doesn't work usually, but it does work with rails, because there's a mechanic in the game. I think since 1.9, and before there was also probably a way to do it. You could actually dupe rails. It was actually a quite simple setup. You just need a powered rail in front of this normal rail, and you need to push it from here, and then you could dupe rails. So, if you dupe a rail, each time we move one forwards, we would never run it out, and then we could AFK for 3000 blocks and place all the rails. Okay, the problem is that we quite sure we can't push it from here, otherwise the rail would pop off. Yep, that's an issue. So we probably need to find a way to rebuild this. I think if you do something like this, then we should be able to push it from two directions. Let's see. Okay, that works obviously. Now let's try this one. Also works. Alright, now we just need to put a minecart here. And then, add an engine in the back and see what the minecart does. If it would fall down or something like that. Maybe we would also need to add a cobble wall or something like that. Yeah, it would fall down. I'm quite sure if I add a cobble wall there. So the cobble wall is 1.5 blocks high. That keeps the minecart on top of the rail, in theory. Okay, this works. Let's try this direction. Yeah, awesome. So, let me actually try this to add an engine in the back, and then we see if this works. Alright, I added the engine in the back. Put myself in survival mode. So at the moment I have 10 rails in my inventory. And here's a start mechanism, so I just aim right there and hold down right mouse button. Hopefully this would work. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is actually a bit fast, but yeah, if I aim correctly, it works. Awesome, yeah. So this might not save a lot of work, but it's probably more fun than placing 3000 rails on your own. I also set up everything in survival now, and I placed a few rails already, so this would give me some time to align myself and filled my inventory. So there's actually nothing that could go wrong now, right? Let's see. Yep. I forgot something probably. Found my mistake, I forgot to place an observer here. Alright, so let's quickly do this. Yep, moved one forwards. Now I just need to move the starting mechanism over, actually, to place the observer again. That means I need to remove the piston first. Now I can place the piston again. Building flying machines is usually a lot of fun in survival. Alright. Okay, now let's move this over. And if I still could reach the button from here, then ready to go again. Alright, wait, rails in the hotbar. No! Why? Next try. And there we go. Okay. Let's see if I aligned myself correctly. Yeah. Okay, now we're placing rails. Awesome. Okay, just need to AFK for about 1 hour. We're about to reach the end. There we go. Last rail placed, and now just need to stop this machine somehow. Guess we just randomly punch out a few slime blocks. Perfect. Alright, this might have taken longer than doing it manually, but obviously it was so much more convenient. Actually went out for a short run while the AFK placer was active, and yeah, come back to all the rails being placed. It was pretty great. I wished we could do this for all the blocks, but as I said, automatic block placers, yeah, I could think of a way how to do it. I mean, you could transport items in minecarts if you maybe add some kind of a binary counter on a flying machine, and then you break a minecart, like a hopper minecart, every 256 blocks. So you get 4 new stacks of blocks that you can place. Then there might be a way to do this, but it's probably more effort than it's worth it. Yeah, it would be awesome if you would have movable dispensers. This would make it feasible for other blocks. But yeah, we talked to Grum recently, and he said he doesn't plan to add them. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm envious of the Bedrock players, that they have movable tile entities, and you could actually make an AFK block placer. We also talked about this. If you ever restart the server, you probably play a little bit modded. For example, the Quark mod, stuff like that, which adds the movable tile entities. Yeah, this would give so many new opportunities to make machines for. So if you ever happen to restart the server, then you're definitely gonna go in that direction. But there's no concrete plans to do this, and maybe never restart the server anyway. Alright, now let's head back. Also, I noticed a little issue. So this was a problem in the last episode. I talked about this, that the machine blew up once, and then I built it up, and apparently had a little offset to the right. So now this part here is really close to the wall here, probably too close. So I actually need to put in some pistons, actually too close. I need to dig away a little bit of those netherrack blocks, but yeah, it's not too much of a problem. But yeah, the next step also requires a lot of space on the side here, because I want to bend the rails. The diagonal piston bolt only works if you bend the rails so they would connect to this block and this block here and so on. And we also have an automatic machine for that, but unless we remove a lot of the netherrack on the side, it doesn't fit in here. So I'm thinking about going back to creative and designing a new machine from scratch that requires minimal space on the right side of the piston bolt here. So this is the rail bender I showed on my channel a few weeks ago. It does the job, but it requires so much space here on the side. This was actually one of the first diagonal machines I made. So by now I'm a bit smarter, and I guess I could make this more compact. Alright, so what I want to do different in order to save the space on the left side here is to put a pulling extension here, grabbing the rail, and put the main engine on top of the rails. So then we don't need all that space on the left side. For the second part, debating myself what I should do. Either add another pushing extension and you have all the space in the world on the right side, and add a second engine, or try to attach it to the main engine somehow. But yeah, this would probably make it a bit larger. It's probably better we just make 2 engines again and time it correctly. So I built something up which in theory should work. So what's important is that you push the blocks in the correct direction first. So basically the structure here needs to be pushed, or pulled in this case, needs to be pulled in that direction first and then over, and not the other way around. And it's the opposite for this one here. So we need to move it here first and then over. That's why in this case I rotated the engines by 90 degrees. But you could also use or attach to the same engine actually. So the pulling extension here in the back already moves in that direction first and then over. And if you add a pushing extension here in the front, then this piston gets powered first, pushes this forwards, and basically move in that direction first and then over. It's perfect. So actually you could attach both parts to the same engine. So that was my idea that I had, that maybe if I add a pushing extension here and somehow direct it back and attach it. No, that's the idea. That I just need a single engine, but yeah, it's a bit too far away. Doesn't make too much sense. And that's why I decided for the 2-engine version again. Anyway, let's try this out. Hopefully it works. Yep, it looks good. So all the rails getting bent. And this doesn't require as much space as the other version. Back in survival, I already built everything up, and I'd say let's launch it. Up, a little bit of lag. Yep, but it works. Okay, so while the automatic rail placer didn't really save a lot of effort or work, this machine here definitely does so. So bending those rails was the worst part of building a piston bolt, because you had to place the rails and remove the rails to just bend a single rail. And now you just need to AFK and do nothing. Okay, I also added a little minecart here in the back. Let's get in there. Okay, and now I can AFK for 1 hour again. Alright, so the rail bender also finished its job. One part got stuck here, and the other one unfortunately bumped into the old diagonal tunnel bore, but already got removed. And yeah, this one also needs to be removed now. So I'm actually not quite sure what to do next. So we could either do the other side already, or continue with the straight part in the same direction. Alright, so I made up my mind, and I want to do the straight part next. Alright, so since we're designing custom machines for every task so far, let's continue to do so. So we need a straight rail placer. Yeah, not too hard. I made one like 14 months ago. It was around Christmas 2016, but I looked at it, yeah, it's outdated. Could do it better. So much easier to do it now. Okay, shouldn't be too hard. Okay, so first thing we need to dupe more rails than usually. So with the diagonal machine, it was quite nice. We duped two rails and only had to place one. Okay, with the straight one, we need to dupe 2 rails at each step, since some of the rails would just fall down the side and we won't pick them up. Okay, so that's the dupe in front. Then here we push. That's why we need to go up 1 and redstone block there. Alright. That's 3 blocks, 6 blocks, 8 blocks, 11 blocks. No problem. Then let's put the minecart here. Should hopefully connect enough rails. And we want a fast engine. So we could do the standard 2 blocks per second engine, but it would be a bit boring or slow. So let's do a fast engine. So just need something like this. Then 3 slime blocks. And here, sticky piston. The non-movable block. Power this, update that one. And done. Now we can remove the non-movable block. Just need to give this piston a block update. How can we do it? Activate a button. Power piston, whatever. To launch the machine. Okay. Okay, all slots are filled. And let's try this out. Game mode 0. And here we go. Okay, so I'm missing spots. Maybe it's a bit laggy, but I could just use a fast clicker instead if this should be an issue. I mean, if you just keep spam clicking, It's no problem. Yep, so this would definitely work. Let's use this in survival. But not so fast. I was wondering a bit if you maybe could make this even faster and use the 4.4 blocks per second engine. But it doesn't look good. So I didn't find a way to dupe 2 rails each step. That's the first issue. I could at least dupe 1 rail, but yeah, not picking up anything more or less. And also the minecart glitches inside of those blocks. So let's start this. Oops, I made a mistake. Yep, I forgot this part here in front. Shoot. Is this a problem? No, we can just add another one. Okay. Now, if I sit here, so I'm almost, yeah, I'm not picking up anything. This is the first issue, and I can't add a single more block, so we already pushed limit 12. First issue, and this time the minecart doesn't glitch into those blocks. That's kind of nice. So, not sure if it's really worth it. Maybe I could add another extension and try to put blocks in front to somehow catch the rails, or somehow add a second duper. I don't have the time for this. Alright, next progress update. The rails have been placed, and there was actually no point at all in making a fast flying machine because I went AFK for 2 hours. Even with a very slow flying machine, the result would have been the same. Yeah, anyway, now we need to curve or bend those rails, like with the diagonal one. So one issue is that we don't have a lot of space. So we dug out 13 by 6 blocks. So actually Palla dug it all, the madman. And again, the machine that I showed on my channel a few weeks ago doesn't fit in there, but I'm quite sure we can adjust it again. So this is the rail curver I recently showed on my channel. And this is the netherrack outline of the tunnel that we have in survival. Now, there are 2 conflict points. The first one, the slime block at the bottom, would try to pick up the netherrack at the bottom. So we could either dig it away, make a 1 wide strip, or we move everything up a block. And this is no problem at all. So the rail doesn't need to be at the same level. It could also be 1 higher, and the rails in the middle would still try to connect to the rails on the side. This would still work. And the second conflict, those slime blocks here would also attach to the netherrack here, would get stuck. Now, there's probably a way to do this. So the idea behind this is that each cycle we push this further 2 blocks. So the whole segment here gets pushed forwards, and then both those pistons are getting powered, but only one of those extends, and the second one attaches to the slime blocks, and gets also pushed 1 block further. In a new position, it extends again, so we push twice basically. Now we just need to find a way to do this without having the slime blocks on the side. Can't see something immediately. I just tried around a little bit. So this didn't take long. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm quite certain it should work. So I rearrange the pistons like this, and when we push this forwards, both are getting powered. The bottom one by quasi-connectivity from the top, and the one here from the side. And one of those pistons should attach to the slime blocks and push it again. Now let's actually try it out. Yep, that looks good. Rails getting curved. Now the other side. Alright. Let's put down a few rails and start the automatic engine. Okay, does its job and fits inside of the tunnel. So we're back in survival. The machine is already flying and all the rails are getting curved in the back. Very nice. So this is the 4th machine I built today, a 4th different machine, which makes our life a lot more convenient and saves a lot of effort actually, especially those rail curving machines. So you would need to place extra rails on the side on top of blocks, so you also need to place those blocks. And in this case you also would need to power the rails in the middle and then remove the power source again. So this saves like 7 or 8 steps of work per rail. So if I should make an estimate, the machine here saves me about 3 to 5 hours of work. But it's definitely worth it. And it took, I know, 5-10 minutes to build. So definitely a great success, those machines. Yeah, so we also built a second diagonal mushroom block line to place rails on top. As again, we also already placed the rails without AFK placer. So we'll continue with the rail benders and finish this for the other direction. So we also need to get back to the nether hub on the second line. And so I would say that's around the 20-minute mark. That's it for this episode. There's still a lot of work left to do. Unfortunately, we can't use any machines anymore. Now we actually need to do the rest by hand. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.